So we are back with 3 PhD students also. They are in second year?
Third year.
Third year?
Final year.
Final year. They will share their experience with us. So thank you for being here. I prepared some questions for you, but I guess, I hope, that our PhD will have also questions on the chat. First question. What is the biggest difficulty you met when you arrived in France?
The housing.
Housing?
Yes.
Finding a house?
About the housing, yes.
An accommodation. Just before you, there was Philippe from Our Access.
Yes.
He can help for accommodation. Did you contact him when you arrived, or you?
No. Actually, I arrived a bit late than the others. I came in around March, February, March. So I did not have the chance to know all about all these procedures. So I had to make it by myself. And then I went directly to the cruise office, the international office of cruise, and they helped me to find housing. It took a little time, but within 1 month it was okay.
1 month. In
Yes.
France, it's a little time.
Yeah, indeed.
For a procedure.
The other administrative procedures, we have little difficulties in applying for the health insurance at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it is also good that for me, I had some friends who sent the link of cruise for housing. So we can already pay €1 or something to register in cruise. And you can already find if there are availabilities in cruise residence for PhD students. And at the beginning, I stayed in Reflex for the international students. So it's possible.
So for the accommodation, you met the cruise?
For me, I had a link from previous student where I contacted through LinkedIn, and then they sent me a link to register in cruise, just to know if I can have the possibility or not to have an accommodation.
Which is why it's very essential to reach out to other students, people who've been here before us, because that's how also it helps me for housing and for all the administrative stuff.
So the biggest difficulty is housing.
Yeah, definitely.
But also it is very necessary to check out the page that is people living in Lille, or there are also lots of community people like Indians in Lille, I don't know, Chinese in Lille or Lebanon in Lille.
Maybe I should have begun by this. Who are you? Where are you from?
Okay, so I'll start. My name is Shireen. I'm Lebanese. So I arrived to Lille last year to do a PhD in neuroscience at the Faculty of Medicine. And I've been in France before, but I'd never been to the north. So it was a very pleasant surprise. I only had heard that, it's cold weather, gray, and all the time, but then I found people are super welcoming and very warm. So it's been a nice experience, regardless of the sanitary crisis. So I haven't explored much, but I really like the city. And welcome to everyone. I think you're gonna love it too.
And where are you from?
I'm from Lebanon, I said.
Okay,
Lebanese,
sorry.
Yeah.
Mohamed?
My name is Mohamed, a third-year PhD student. I come from Algeria. I came to France in 2018 for a PhD, and I came directly to Lille, like I said, but I had the chance to go around France, and indeed, the north of France is a really warm region. We meet very nice people.
Okay, do you agree?
So I'm Shiva. I'm from south of India, which is called as Tamil Nadu. So I came here and I'm going to finish my PhD during second week of December. So I'm working on physics, developing biosensors in IEMN. So when I came to North at the first beginning, I was in Paris for some internship work. And after in North, I think it's a wonderful city. It's a little cold, but also I think it's it is also one of the things that all of a sudden you feel lonely because you come here for PhD and you stay in an apartment alone and there are no friends, because when we come to PhD it's become more professional and we try not to communicate with lots of people that you had before in your engineering school or whatever it is. So if you're feeling lonely, please do not stress up. It's normal.
Yes, very normal indeed.
Nobody's in collocation? You have?
No, I'm
No?
No.
Okay,
No.
because it's a possibility to find
Yeah.
collocation
Yes.
So that is
when it's
also
difficult.
I hear it helps, especially when people were on lockdown. So having someone else in the apartment helps, but we couldn't expect it. So,
Not at all.
but yeah, I think it's very difficult when you come to a new country or a new city. You have different traditions, different customs, so it's not always easy to adapt. But I think it's an amazing experience because that's how you learn new customs. That's how you meet new people. And I think it's important. So even if you feel lonely, the only way to deal with it is just to go out, do some
And meet
activities, meet people. And
actually the PhD welcome was a little bit late before I started the PhD. So during PhD welcome, it was possible for people to have different WhatsApp number or being a group. I know we went to a bar or a restaurant, and this PhD welcome helped a lot to find friends.
Yeah.
But it was late. I mean, 3 or 4 months later, the PhD welcome was there.
And
So
do not hesitate also to join some associations,
Yes,
PhD
programs.
associations like Consulid, like ALEA. This will help you a lot because you'll be with other PhD students and you'll know people from the north and even from other countries and from France as well.
Yeah,
it's an advice. You are talking about network before we start?
I think it's very important. I know you heard this morning, that it's very important to create your own networking, especially in the field of study you're doing, because most of the time it's how you get to meet people that can eventually offer you professional or working opportunities. And I think it's very, very essential. For some people, it's hard to go to the others. So I think it's important to, for example, go to seminars, conferences, register for workshops. I think they talked about it this morning. There are many conferences, seminars, and every time you register, you get to meet the people who are talking, but also other people in the same field. So I think it's very important. There's also, I think it gets you the credits that you need, because I don't know if everyone knows that you need 60 credits to graduate with a PhD, and taking these seminars or formation, they give you these credits. So I think it's a win-win on both sides.
There are even winter and summer schools
Exactly.
for that.
Yeah.
And even if now everything is online due to the COVID-19 crisis, do not hesitate to participate in these events because it's very helpful.
Yeah, you were talking about associations. There are associations of PhDs. So we are going to talk about Consulid just after, but it's a little bit more professional.
Yes.
There are school association with specific topics. I mean, in biology, for example.
Exactly.
I don't know all. I know in humanities, sorry, they have also associations. And that was the goal also of PhD Welcome, to create the first links, to create a network.
Yeah.
We are doing this with the camera, why not?
I heard that hopefully you will be able maybe to do a second one. So I think, you should take the opportunity to, like we did, because as he said, I also met a lot of people during last year's PhD Welcome. I still have their numbers. We still meet from time to time. So it's very important to build friendships.
But it will be slowly decreasing. You know, when the stress of your PhD starts from second year, your friends are okay. We are busy, but it is also good that I found one association in Paris, where it's a scientific association. You can go to a bar. I mean, 4 or 5 weeks once. You have that, and someone will be presenting on your scientific topic, but it has to be in funny way. So you should not present very professional, telling that this is current, this is that, but you need to present in funny way. People will be joining, and it was really a good chance for even for people who do not understand chemistry or physics or biology. They will start, it's very well animated, and they started to speak each other, and this network becomes, and after they can find what they wanted to do in future. So this contact is very important if they wanted to do a further postdoc or, I don't know, some job if they wanted to find.
Yeah.
So this kind of association and this kind of idea of funny presentation, but telling the topic, you need to go to the people, but in a funny way, but not really a...
It looks like Mathis in 180 seconds contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is,
In a
you are
funny
stressed.
form.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
without
Very
stress,
cool.
you tell, okay, what is fluorescence, how to explain fluorescence, or someone is showing, some light is glowing, and after it comes down, what is luminescence?
That's very
Everyone
interesting.
understood, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a funny way, but you have networking. I mean, people you can speak and make.
Yeah, and try doing it really in this first year, because as he said, like before the start of the hectic work, because as soon as you get into your second and third year, you really don't have time to do much else. So use this first year to really
starting
start
from the
making
half
the
of
network.
second year.
Yeah.
And also this is very important because in some labs they do some experiment, and in Lille there are different labs having different instruments, and we will be searching and spending lots of time. And if you know your friend, hey, do you have a spectroscopy? It's just, okay, let's do some.
So this can help also in your thesis.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it helps. It helps a lot in thesis. So not without wasting time. You know.
Okay, so these are good advices. What surprised you the most when you arrived in France? The weather in the north of France? The cold weather?
Actually, it was better than I expected. Like there was a good
It was
summer,
better? Oh, yeah.
But no, it wasn't as bad as we'd heard. I don't know for you. You weren't used maybe to the cold that much.
For me, I was
being
surprised
from
to
the
have
south.
a hacklet. The
Okay.
first food, it was wonderful.
Yes.
It was very surprising to have cheese with potatoes. So it's a wonderful thing that everyone has to try in Lille. And the other thing is, I think for Asians, there is some, because in Asia there are lots of sun. And when they come to Lille, they lose some, I don't know, some kind of chemical that they have.
Vitamin D.
Yes, this I have heard from my friends. Lots of people just tell that they have some vitamin D problem, efficient. Yeah.
It's very common here in
It's
the
very
north because we
common
don't
here.
see the sun
So-
as much.
So
Especially if you're stuck doing a PhD inside the lab. You don't see really the sun.
That's true.
And what is the life of a PhD student? So you were talking about the first year, that your advice is to enjoy this first year, and then you have a lot of work in second and third year. What is your life?
So if we divide it into 3 years, I think that you will agree that during the first year we discover, we travel a lot, we will know a lot of people while traveling, and then the second year the serious work will start.
Yes.
So, and then for the third year you'll be always going and coming back to home and lab only.
Yeah,
Mostly,
that's just lab
it's
work.
mostly that.
because in second year, it is also that you need to show what did you do in your first year, which is called as CST.
Yes.
You need to present what did you do in your first year. So,
I traveled.
yeah, but so it's also interesting. It's not completely travel, I would say. Rather, it should be kind of making some network in your profession. I mean, travel, but try to collaborate or to bring your work to others. So.
And for example, if you're in an international program or project like Siva and I are, we're working with Belgians, do not hesitate to go to your partner's lab in order to work with them, in order to get some experience from them and some advice as well.
Okay, I know that laboratories can pay for those travels, but you can have also mobility calls.
Yes.
From Mobilex, from University of Lille. There is from Région, from Doctoral College, from ICIT. There are many mobility calls that exist to travel.
Yeah, so make sure to look at the emails every time because there's a lot of opportunities, but sometimes you have to apply very early to be able to get them. So
for example, I have obtained Commu mobility, which I have traveled out of France to have a 3 months of it's an exchange program.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we can try to work with other people out of France. For this, you need an acceptance letter from them. I think the end date of COMU should be in May or April.
It will be now at the beginning of this year.
It's the beginning of this year.
We must talk about it.
Okay, so it's necessary to check online also.
Yeah. It's just like you said. It's important to check online what exists. If there are some events on the chat, they tell that it's very cold here in north of France, but I think she comes from Nigeria. That's why. Maybe that explains why it's cold. Did you see the movie Bienvenue chez les Ch'tis? Yes. And did you cry when you arrived here in north of France?
I think it's a recommended movie for people to watch.
Yeah. Incredibly
and
funny.
not alone, if they can, yes.
Yeah, with a Ch'ti.
If we cry, no. Maybe we were sad because the weather was not really nice. But as I said, once you meet people from this region, honestly, you won't regret living here, and probably you will not want to leave this place.
Yeah.
You will cry when you leave.
Exactly.
Probably, yes, probably.
That's true.
That's true. What is going to miss you if you live here in France or in north of France? Or?
I'm gonna say the food. The food, the wine, the beer, which I didn't like before, but I guess coming to Lille, I had to start learning. But yeah, the food, going to nice little estaminet or, eating Welsh's and carbonate flamande, all the stuff.
Welsh.
I think.
Welsh,
Yeah, that's
discovered the cheese here?
Exactly, because in Asia we don't have cheese like here.
Yeah.
We have cheese, but it's different. But this is wonderful. The culture of cheese, it happens here, so it has to be tried. Everyone has to try this Welsh, as she suggested, and also this raclette.
Raclette, yeah.
Normally in our group we do some every year. Once we can have a small group of raclette party or so something.
Yeah, at the end of fall, like mid-fall, it's the first raclette.
Yeah,
with all the
exactly.
friends or colleagues, we all do it. But yeah, this year was a bit harder. We did it on Zoom.
Yes.
So everyone had a tiny raclette in their corner. But yeah, it's very important to
I hope we can share this food as the next step.
Yes, we hope so.
Yeah, when we meet all together. I have a question from Sundar. Hi Shiva.
Hi.
Another PhD student from Tamil Nadu, South India. Hi to the two people also. How did you manage your formations from all modules? I am totally lost seeing the table.
So formations, you have to always, before we had some other website for, it was doctoral school website where we need to find Formadoc.
Now it's Adum.
Now it's Adum. So in Adum, there is a catalog where the formations are listed according to the time. So for this, the first thing you need to check is the calendar and the formations that are open. Some formations, they would have mentioned the time which day they are opening. So it is necessary to be online to check which day they are opening, because there are lots of students who book for example, the formations, they can take only maximum persons, for example.
there are limits. So
there are limits.
So
they need to be always focused on which date they are opening, and you can try to open it by 12 noon, in the midnight 12, and try to book your name. And after, you will receive an email from the course supervisor. Then you need to have 60 credits.
Okay, but I think she meant that, I don't know if it's male or female. How did you manage to, how did you choose in that catalog?
The first thing, what I have chosen is French language, which is very important for us, because to know French, and also even in French course, I found different people, international people, to speak and communicate. And the second is we can choose. There are some courses based on how to write your thesis first thing. So this can be chosen. So for this, everyone can go. It's not depend on what you study. And second thing is there are also teaching on LaTeX, how to write your thesis using LaTeX. And different courses. There are different courses which are common for all the PhD courses, I think.
Some are related to the field of study.
Exactly.
So you can choose these if you really need them for your PhD. Otherwise, you can choose some other professionals that can enable you to get a job just after the PhD, which is fairly related to your field, but which is not in research.
Yeah, it really depends on your future projects, I think.
Exactly.
For example, if you want to go into industry, there's a lot of formation like entrepreneurship or stuff like this you can take maybe in the third year, which helps you create your own startup. If you want to go into academia, you have, for example, how to teach teaching courses. So they teach you how to teach.
Yes.
And also, yes, I mainly choose things in my field, as I said, seminars, conferences for people working in my field, because that helps me build my network, my professional network.
And please do not worry also if the courses are in French. So most of the seminars that entrepreneurship was in completely French, but it's not very difficult to understand because in slides some people do in English. Yeah. So I think it's that's the reason you need to take the first course French. Yeah. So you will have a little bit understanding of French, and after, because 60 credits are necessary for the for your thesis to defend your thesis, and in your second year of CST, you should have already finished 30 credits. I think
at
least 30 credits. So this has to be because at the end of your third year, if you do not have credits, because of this, you would be having some problems in your defense.
Yes.
And do not hesitate also to apply for oral expressions formations in order to get fluent, to be fluent in English or either French for the presentations of your slides during your PhD defense, or even for seminars, as she said.
Yeah, it really helps. There are also some courses, I think, about Zotero.
Yeah,
So
Zotero.
how to find your references, so that will help you writing your thesis. So there are really basic formations that are very important, and then you choose whatever you like.
There was also some course that we attended, Orchid, how to create your Orchid ID.
Oh, that sounds
Orchid.
nice.
Yes,
I didn't know.
yes, how to diffuse your data and your research through the network.
Okay, and about credits, in order to obtain the credits, can we do other ones beyond the catalog?
Yes.
Especially now.
Yeah.
So it's possible to get credits.
Yes.
Doctoral schools also have trainings. You meant French.
Yes.
Maybe it's with doctoral schools.
It's with doctoral school, yes.
Yeah, it's doctoral schools that propose that training.
Yes.
Okay, it's not doctoral college. We have trainings, but just like explained Kamal in the morning, it's for all doctoral schools. So there are transversal trainings.
For example, we applied for a summer school with SIVA, and for that we got 20 credits. So to get that credits, you just have to get the attestation of participation, and then you just upload it in your Adium account, and you wait just for a few days in order to be accepted. Yes.
Also, the poster presentations it also has credits. If you make a poster presentation during some conference, you could try to have a attestation or certificate telling that you presented here and how many hours you spent. Yeah. Because the credits are depending on the hours that you spent. Yeah. So it is necessary to have the certificate and upload on the Adum. So you would have a credit on.
Yeah. So whenever you go to conferences, even internationals, you can just send a letter to say that you participated in this, and then they will give you some credits to that too. So okay.
So they need to go to Adum. They have the choice with doctoral college trainings, and then they can add their own trainings.
Own trainings.
Yeah.
They add them on Adum, and then they will have credits
Yes.
with
Exactly.
an attending form.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
It depends on the number of hours.
Yes.
Exactly.
20 credits for what?
20 credits for 1 week of seminar and poster presentation. So we participated for 24 hours in the total, and we got from that 20 credits, because the maximum that we can get for one formation is 20.
So it's a summer school.
Yes.
Summer school, okay. It's the question from the chat. It was summer school, yeah. They replied also. Okay, do you have something to add? Because our time is already ended.
Do not hesitate to create your LinkedIn and
Yeah.
ResearchGate page. This will be very helpful for your career later, because many opportunities will be proposed on these platforms,
Yeah.
and even recruiters will look for you.
Yeah.
And also there is an opportunity if PhD students want to do a part-time job. So they are allowed to do 64 hours. For example, I was giving a course in Experium, which is in the bibliothèque of university. So in Experium, the industrial people can come and you try to explain your project in simple way. So this is also a part-time job you have.
Yeah.
And also I was also teaching in a university. It's Institute Université Technologie. So if they really wanted, there are opportunities, but we need to wait for the email and also to get the position.
And you have to check also with your supervisor, because it depends also on your contract exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There are
you're
some
right.
contracts that do not allow the student to do these tasks.
Yeah, maybe finally don't forget to breathe. I know PhD
Yeah.
is not a walk in the park. So try to do some activities, I don't know, sports, go out, because we really need to breathe. And taking on a project for 3 years, it goes home with you. So sometimes you can't just let go. And I think it's very important. I'm still learning to do that.
Yes, just chill
And
out.
Yeah, so try to rest as much as you can and just breathe, do some sports.
Okay, thank you very much. I will let you now. And we are going to welcome Consulid to build a network, to build an experience with companies. Maybe you know already Consulid?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
I already.
Good communication.
Yeah. They're doing great job.
Yeah. And you are very involved in
I
PhD
applied 1 month ago, but I knew about it since June.
Okay.
So I didn't have the opportunity to get involved yet, but
I hope it will come.
I hope to. Thank you.
So thank you very much. I see
Thank
you soon. Maybe may I give your contact if some students want?
Sure.
Yes, sure.
Yes. Okay.
Sure.
So I keep your email address if I
Yeah.
have any questions.
Yeah.
I will
So,
send your email address.
Together we
Without
welcome
any
all
problem.
the new PhD students very happily in Lille
With a raclette.
with raclette, Welsh.
Enjoy it as much as you can.
And wine.
And carbonate flamande.
Right. So we are coming in a few minutes to talk about Consulid, 2 or 3 minutes. I see you soon.